Well, I'll start first with I think the crowds the last 2 home games we've had over break when students aren't here have been awesome. And I think it's a credit to our administration and this community. Usually it's difficult for us to get those crowds in January and for everyone in the country. And I thought the crowds the last 2 games we've had at home have been phenomenal. So it's credit to our administration for helping get things going and doing different things to allow fans to get here, and then also for people showing up. But as far as the game goes, I think it's kind of the same story with all 5 losses this year. I think we tiptoe into the games. Like, we don't run to the fight right now. We got a little shell-shocked with the pressure and whatnot, and you could see it in the rhythm of our offense. And so we got to know that by now. We've talked about it, but there's got to be a little different fight than what is showing up offensively just to get catches where you want the ball. And we get credit to them now that they took us out of a bunch of stuff in the first half. We got our rhythm eventually, but that's the game plan for us right now is over pressure and get physical.
Did you almost get the feeling that bled to the other end of the court because you never really could find a way to string a stop with a basket or vice versa?
Yeah, there's multiple times I thought we were close to making a run, but just a couple miscues, errors defensively, and they took advantage of it. But I think that at the end of the day, the other piece of us not giving a rhythm in offense was we had to win the turnover battle and we had to win the rebounding second chance battle, and we didn't do either one of those. So it just makes it hard if you don't execute the game plan and you don't execute how you have to beat that team. Like that's what happens. And credit to them, they executed what they wanted to, and I thought we didn't till we kind of figured it out as the game went on. But it took us a little too long.
Is that the thing that stings most? Is not only, I mean, obviously, if a team pressures you well defensively, you got to do some things maybe around that. But you turned over the ball in the process. They ended up getting 21 points off turnovers. Is that the compounding factor that made it a little bit worse than just being a little bit stagnant offensively?
Yeah, absolutely. The poor rhythm on offense and then the turnovers. And I thought we got to do a better job as a staff, too, putting them in position to create some more driving lanes for them to get to the basket and some more pressure releases as well. But it's at the end of the day, like you got to be tougher with the ball in your hands, and you got to. I thought we left our teammates on islands sometimes, and I thought that they were allowed to get free pressure, and so we got to do a better job as a group, and we got to have the right mindset going in the game and know what's coming, because I think at this point we pretty much know what most defenses are going to try to do to us.
Is the timeliness of some of the maybe mental mistakes particularly frustrating? Like you had the one Butler, it's a 3. And then you guys leave Hall in the corner and transition 3 to kind of kill any momentum you may have there. Just the timeliness seemed really, I guess, poor.
Yeah, and it was tough because we got a little mixed up in transition, and then we were trying to go to the 2 defense, and we just didn't get there in time. So yeah, I thought that was the most frustrating part. Is every time I thought like, all right, we're about to make a run, or you got it to 6, or you got it to 7. We needed one more stop to get out and run again, and we just seemed that we couldn't get that stop tonight.
For you as a coach, like if you have to make an adjustment systematically, is it different than if you have to make adjust mentality-wise, like you're talking about?
Yeah, no, it is, and I think that's partly on us though as a staff too. I think we have to know what our guys need day in and day out. And we know them by now. Like we know them better than probably. I think that's what we do better than a lot of other places is we truly get to know our guys. And so we know what they need, and I think we got to do a better job of kind of setting that tone and helping them get there. Because like I've said before, like I love the group that we have right now. We don't have a lot of experience playing in these games. Where you're playing in these atmospheres and competing for NCAA tournament bids, and there's a different level of intensity that comes with that, and so I think as a staff we have to help them get there. Like they don't know what they don't know yet, and we got to help them grow in that aspect. And there's definitely some schematic stuff that we got to help them with too. But at the end of the day, I love the group that we have, and I love our guys fight. We just got to get them to fight from the start of the game.
You mentioned guys not running into the fight to start games. Is that particularly frustrating in a game when you know New Mexico I think came into the game first in opponent field goal percentage defense. Is that frustrating knowing, hey, this is kind of the scout and you're still not ready for it right off the bat?
Yes. Yeah, and that's what I mean by, like, I think as a staff we have to help them get there better. Like, I think we got to do a better job of getting them to that point and understanding that. That's our job as a staff, to get them to the mindset that they need to have for these games and for these atmospheres. And we've seen it. Like, they had the right mindset at Grand Canyon. They had the right mindset, and they've had the right mindset for most of the nights. And they had, for the most part, they did have the right mindset to probably the last 5 minutes of the first half and then the second half. But it's kind of the story of those 5 losses is the first 15 minutes. It's like Denver, where you're down 12 at halftime or whatever it was. Virginia Tech got down in a hole early. I don't want to list off all these losses, but I think that's kind of the theme. And so we know that as a staff, we got to do a better job, and I think they know it as a group. And the best part about basketball is, like, it's not football where you got to wait 7 days and just beat each other up to get ready for the next game. Like, you got a day and a half basically to get ready for the next one on Friday night. So you got to move on quick, and you got to get ready for the next fight.
On the positive side, Augie had another solid night offensively. I remember asking you after the last home game, like, if you felt like he was going to continue to progress in a bigger role. And obviously 35 points in the last 2 games, he's doing that. Like, are you really kind of pleased with the quick progress he's made in a difficult spot for him?
No, absolutely. I think we're asking a lot of him to learn the basically the perimeter spot, because our 1 through 4 do a lot of the same things. To learn that all summer and all fall in a new offense, that's difficult in and of itself. And then 2 weeks later, you ask him, like, hey, you're going to actually run a new spot, and it's completely different from what you've been doing all year. And he took it head on. And so I appreciate his coachability, but also his resilience to know that, like, all right, like, this is what the team needs from me, and I'm going to go execute. And he's done a phenomenal job for us these past 2 games specifically.
I guess in addition to that, I mean, what can you say about the adjustments that, all the guys have probably had to make with, some other players out of the lineup right now?
Yeah, I think it's right. It's everyone's roles are a little different right now, and it's part of basketball. That's part of sports. Is you deal with injuries, you deal with adversity all the time, and for the most part, I think this team's always responded really well. They'll always come back and fight, and I thought I saw that tonight again. They came back and fought when things weren't going right for them. But yeah, it's part of the game, and I think all our guys too. It's changing for everyone, right? They're getting guarded different. You're moving up in the scouting reports. It's something that we all got to deal with, and now we got to help them get through that and help them understand, like, okay, here's how you can get to the next shot. Here's how you can get to the next play. But yeah, it's definitely new roles for a lot of guys, and that's part of it.
You mentioned Rising in the scouting report. Josh clearly is one of those guys that, with his start, is kind of focused, has struggled shooting in conference plays. Kind of what are you seeing from him, and what, I guess when a guy's such a good shooter but struggling a bit, kind of what do you do to kind of help guide him through that?
Yeah, I think we got to help him find better shots. I don't think we've done a great job of getting him shots either. Pretty much all his threes tonight felt like they were off the dribble, which, like, he can make, but it's just harder. And then I think part of it is when people are top blocking you, so they get on the top side of you and don't let you come off the screen. You got to slow down a little bit more. And I thought in the second half he started back cutting. He got probably 3 different back cut layups, which is great. And I think that's what he has to do to loosen up pressure, and we got to set those things up for him. But it's kind of like how Isaiah had to go through that too. Is you got to slow down, right? It's an old bull mentality of relax, breathe, don't let their pressure and them hopping up on you speed you up. And I think he's starting to learn that. He's starting to see that, and right, it's just what we talked about. It's an adjustment for all these guys, and so we got to help him see that and help him grow in those areas, because he's a great player, he's a great shooter, and he's grown in so many different ways that this is just another step for him.
You mentioned the back cuts. Jace had 1, too. Does it kind of give you some confidence for you guys as staff, at least offensively, that you guys are athletic enough that you can kind of make the adjustments that you need to, not just game to game, but in game as well, and you don't have to be so strict with what you guys want to do offensively? Yeah,
absolutely. And I think it's helped because Augie's starting to learn the offense better at that spot, so I think we can flow a little easier. But the biggest thing is we got to get the ball moving better, because I think that will open up more cuts, more space to make cuts. When it's so tight and there's not a lot of space to move, it doesn't matter if you're cutting or not. I thought we did a better job of spacing as the game went on and really relaxing and just taking what the defense was giving us.
Saw Rashawn at least warm up tonight. Does it feel like he's right right on the cusp of getting in the lineup?
Yeah. Yep.
Cool.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
I appreciate it.